कृपया ध्यान दीजिए, the language used on the podcast may not be fit for consumption. We warn you, tread carefully. But listen yaar, don't be so conservative. Yeah, people talk about nepotism all the time, and film industry mein nepotism, though everybody talks about it. But I want to just mention here, my father's name is Faruk, okay? And unfortunately or fortunately, the gentleman sitting next to me has the same name, but he's a little younger than my dad. So I'll have to keep referring to him as not my dad, Faruk. Faruk Kabir, famous director, writer, creator, lots of projects, lots of things to talk about. But first, welcome to the show. You've gone through a lot of traffic. This is a huge problem with us on the podcast. I want people to know how we suffer. Outside Mumbai, loko pata nahi ki the situation is getting worse and worse. They think, these guys are in the great city of Mumbai and world is great here. Let them know the suffering.
Yeah, the suffering. I think there's too much VIP movement today. That's why there's traffic on the roads.
I love you, Faruk. I want to come, Faruk. I want to come and kiss you.
Slowly becoming like Delhi now.
You have said all the lovely things. You are winning all the awards from IVM right now. You have no idea.
Becoming like Delhi.
This VIP movement is now so. I know it's what we call the elite issues of India and all that, but there's someone. I mean, it's really like an epidemic. Forget COVID. This is a new one. Just deal with this now. Every time they have some stupid movement to airport or whatever, 17 roads get shut down, and all the cops are so alert and they're standing there like German shepherds, really
and
tight and
cops are actually standing in the duck part of the road.
Yeah,
I mean, I just saw that yesterday. Cops were trenched into the duck part of the road.
Well, they have to go somewhere. Back in my area, they sit on chairs now. Okay, this is like office, waiting for people to pass on the main road. Faruk, make this film now if you can.
I would like to post that picture. Yeah. Traffic cops sitting
they
on
get
the
no Khuda Haafiz from me. I can tell you that when I pass. Now I say much worse words than that. All right, if we have time, we will get into all that because life is terrible as we speak. But having said that, you've just released, not just released, about a month I think since you released.
Yeah.
Part 2 is it?
Of Khuda Haafiz. It's called Khuda Haafiz Agni Pariksha.
Agni Pariksha. So that's the final test, right?
Yeah, so to speak.
My Hindi, I don't even know if they allow Urdu anymore. I have to be careful. It's present times that we live in, so I'll say Hindi because it's got nothing to do with...
Urdu is actually an Indian language. No, it has nothing to do with the community.
Let's do it. What's wrong if it has something to do with the community? Hello, listen, we are both minorities here. We can say what we want for the next 20 minutes. Okay, after that, we get into VIP movement.
Minority Morcha.
Yeah. No, it's hilarious how the people want to remove Urdu and things like that when not realizing it's the mother of Hindi. There's no question of that. I mean, you can't deny that. One comes from the other. Yeah. No comments, says Faruk.
A land full of languages.
Faruk is saying, I won't say anything until I change my name to Falguni. Okay, we won't pressurize you with stupid comments. Let's get to the whole thing. So, I'm not a Hindi movie buff or English movie buff for that matter. So, the worst guy to interview anyone who's done such good work. Although we have followed your career from the early days. Do you want to start from there or should we start from where we are right now?
Where you
Let's go back. Very interesting. You've assisted first.
Yeah.
On Phir bhi Dil hai Hindustani.
I was a young 17-year-old boy, dropped out of college, so to speak, first year of college, and started working. Yeah, I mean,
and this is the Shah Rukh film, right?
This is the Shah Rukh film.
Because I came for one day of shooting at Crossroads in Tardio, I remember, with MTV crew,
yes,
if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Mirza brothers, right?
Aziz Mirza.
Correct, yeah.
Aziz Mirza was the director.
We had to meet him. It's a long story because one of the gentlemen was a sponsor. He was doing some work with me and Malaika. He's a watch guy, etc.
Yes, the swatch, the rose watch.
So, I'm right?
Yeah, absolutely right.
So we came in, they were very sweet. Very nice, and that's my memory. But also that was in South Bombay because growing up it's very rare to have much in South Bombay. Yeah, and so we had Shah Rukh Khan's presence. So where you
South Bombay was still a place back then.
South Bombay didn't have VIP movement. Shah Rukh was the only VIP that come in for the last 20 years. It was like that. Yeah, don't even start about
South Bombay is going all south now.
Yeah. Oof. Ouch. Okay. See what they've done to our serious filmmakers, made them into stand-up comedians. Right. So you dropped out of college. What did you want to do? I mean, or you had no idea at 17?
I was a boarding school product, so coming back to Bombay, I was a little...
Which boarding school?
I went to a school called Barnes. It's in a small, quaint town called Devlali. This is between...
Of course.
Nasik.
My friend Neil White is on the board. Anglo-Indian community.
Yes, Anglo-Indian
Devlali,
community.
I know it very well, don't worry. And lots of famous names from Barnes in the old days. Dilip Kumar, am I right?
Yes.
Then boss, Brocha ko sab kuch pata hai. Don't call me an idiot just because I live in South Mumbai. But you are right.
Quite aware, having lived in Sobo all this while.
Like it's a really beautiful area.
Yeah. Growing up there is is awesome.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful space, and we played lots of sports. Unlike usual kids in Bombay, they developed bigger thumbs playing video games while we developed some.
Yeah, exactly. Show the kids. They're right here. Rishi, his last game played in 1953.
Yeah.
Spurs, he plays with his guitar. That's what he calls it. Euphemism for something. I don't know. Huh?
Yeah, we actually played sport.
But you guys have those. See, as a Mumbaiker, we don't have big schools, right?
Right.
If you're in Delhi, it's a little different. You get a little space and all that. But in Mumbai, nothing. So you got in Deolali, you had huge space.
We had 390 acres of open land.
That's so unfair. Yeah.
It's one of the biggest campuses in Maharashtra and one of the biggest campuses
How can they waste
in India,
it on a
actually.
school? Yeah? They have to give that to South Mumbai. We need to take that. Rishi, say something. Yeah. Terrible. Yeah. So you were an athlete, is it?
Was and decent athlete, played multiple disciplines, was a boxer from a really young age. From age of from class 5.
What do you think of the film Aryan?
The film Aryan?
It's a boxing film.
Terrible actually.
I thought you took an awkward pause not to answer.
No, I was just trying to recollect what film this is. But we made some other decent films on boxing. I think.
Which boxing film?
Tufan was nice with Farhan Akhtar and Mary Com attempted something with
Priyanka Chopra in the lead.
Chopra in the lead. But yeah, I mean, we've not really cracked the boxing films like.
Yeah, I think it's too melodramatic mostly also.
Actually, boxing.
The Rocky one was so melodramatic when you think about it.
Boxing in India is only in certain disciplines, right? Only the army, railway, navy.
Marriage?
Those marriage. Marriage too.
Wow, how can you not know this?
Boxing नहीं होता है ना. मैं तो अपना white towel लेके घूमता हूँ.
What is it? RSC, referee stops contest.
White towel लेके घूमता हूँ घर में.
So you were a decent boxer, and keep in mind all these boarding schools had a tradition of all that. Not all the schools anymore.
Yeah, especially these Anglo-Indian schools like Barnes has a very, very long tradition of boxing. In fact, Vinod Khanna's name is on the same board where I have my name. He was also one of the best boxers in school, and
but you missed him by a couple of years, I think.
many years. But Vinod Saab was a very, very good boxer. Vinod Khanna was an excellent.
So Vinod
boxer.
used to live next to us when he came back from America and all that, and he used to go to this club called WIA right there. So all the guys used to go to watch him play badminton.
Oh, okay.
That's how starstruck we were growing up. There's nobody around. Going back to Barnes, so what happens on the set right now? Well, now as a director, because you got this boxing instinct. Video doesn't listen to you. Is it like left, right, haymaker, hook? Huh?
No, I just.
Is he really tough? He's got this big physique and all that. He's a tough guy.
He is. He is a big guy, but he's very soft at heart. He's not one of those.
No contact sport.
He's not one of those. He's not one of those toughies who throws his weight around. In fact, he's pretty much got his head on his shoulders and pretty much connected to the earth. Very grounded.
Well, you worked with him twice, so obviously it's a good relationship.
Yeah, it's a great jugalbandi we both have, and though we are friends, we just know how to maintain that thin line between director and actor, and it's always interesting. Especially when you have no ego, then it's easier to enjoy the creation with somebody else, right? So it's an egoless process for us, thankfully.
But going back to boxing in the early days there, athlete more. So films wouldn't have, being a director, writer, creator sort of thing, that wouldn't have been...
So really... I was equally a part of my debating society in school, and also we started doing Shakespeare very early in school. Wow. We used to have the annual school play, and I was one of the youngest...
Educated for Bollywood, wasting his time.
So yeah, Shakespeare is somebody I got very, very fascinated from a very young age and started getting involved in school plays. Was one of the youngest
Favorite
kids.
Play?
Sorry?
Favorite Shakespearean play?
Favorite Shakespearean play, that's always tough because I like so much of Shakespeare's works. But play, I think Macbeth was our most
You're not
dramatic.
supposed to say the name, right? It'll bring bad luck for actors and all. Never say the name.
Really?
Yeah, it's like, what's that, Voldemort? No, what's the guy in Harry Potter? You don't say the name.
Oh, okay.
I learned this tradition in England. It's a little scary. They take it very seriously there.
Right.
It just brings the superstitions. You don't say the name of
never heard this
that
one.
play. Yeah.
No, never heard this one.
Oh, wow. Excellent. But I was so this is very interesting. So you had this, what is it, dichotomy or this?
In fact, I got my first job with Aziz Mirza only because of my knowledge of Shakespeare. Because when I walked into the office, he looked at me and he said, "What are you doing here, bache?" And I said, "Sir, I've come to look for the director. I've come to look for work." He's like, "How old are you?" I said, "I'm 70. He's like, "Go study, complete your graduation and come back." I said, "No, I want to work. I'm not going to." But he was very taken in when I said, "No, I'm not going to be studying. I want to work." And so he was like, "What do you know about cinema?" I said, "I don't know anything about cinema, but I know something about Shakespeare." So he paused. He said, "Acha, you took my test. What do you know about Shakespeare?"
Why do you
And
know
I-
Shakespeare, bud?
I didn't know what else
name
to.
dropping and you're upsetting?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like I'm taking Shakespeare's name like he's my
Yeah,
buddy.
exactly,
and,
मेरा चाचा.
family friend.
Yeah.
Daddy के दोस्त थे.
Every Sunday,
हाँ, मैं
William used to
शेक्सपियर
come over.
विलियम जी को जानता हूँ मैं. आते थे घर पे. शेक्सपियरियन तरीके से बहुत सारी चीजें बताते
Did you
थे.
break into that? Well, Aziz, in sooth, I must share with you.
No, but he kind of somehow
tested you, huh?
He kind of tested me, and he liked my enthusiasm on Shakespeare and
I think he
literature.
hadn't heard the word Shakespeare in Bollywood for a long time. So he was just so happy. Went home and told the wife, "Yeah, एक बंदा को मिला." Finally, yeah.
वो प्रेमचंद नहीं वो शेक्सपियर
Yeah.
बोल रहे हैं. But then that started the fondness for languages, the fondness for literature, and then became a very avid reader for the rest of my life. So all my education really or knowledge comes from, of course, my life's own experiences, observations, but also from the books that I read, because I'm not academically even a 12th pass, so to speak, how they say. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not a big fan of formal education beyond a point. I think honestly people are just doing it. So many people just learn and they don't remember a thing. This is pointless learning.
Yeah,
also, you know.
I mean, in all humility, I have MBAs and CAs working for me right now. So
Wow, that's arrogant.
no,
Yeah, but
not
sir,
at all.
मैंने कुछ नहीं
Formal
किया.
education didn't really.
Sir, I have double MBA. Go wash the floor. Yeah. No, but don't you think so? Like we make kids study, and beyond a point, they're not really. I mean, until you get some passion into the studying and you're really interested in it, what's the
Yeah.
point?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't understand
education, okay,
why I
okay.
had to understand so much about chemistry when
Exactly.
I just didn't know what I'm
The
going to
girls
do
weren't
with.
going to do anything with you anyway.
Yeah, that's the only
exactly.
chemistry I
Calculus and things
understood.
like that. I
Human
don't remember a
chemistry.
word.
Yeah.
What is it? Sine, cosa, tan, whatever those things were. It's all gone out of my head, man. So I used to think, why are we
I've
doing
not
this?
even heard those words.
It'll come back to you as logarithms and those. I don't remember them myself, but I'm saying we learn them and we're struggling with them and we just hate them.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
can't identify with them. Also, I'm saying after a point you should let 12-year-olds or 13-year-olds just study what they like.
I think
and you get some response. Like if you were studying Shakespeare, you'd have been fantastic. That's all you do, right?
Yeah. Specialize.
I'd have studied human sexuality among seniors, which is my thing.
Like abroad, there's a concept where kids take a break here. Like parents actually tell them, okay,
gap year, huh?
the gap year, that this is the year you intern in 3-4 different disciplines, see what you actually like, and
Life bhi ek cheez hai, bhai. You should have some growth in life. You can't just not to knock studying. I'm just saying that it should be more voluntary, but then you'll get better results from people.
Yeah.
Like, if a young Faruk, if I was the guidance counselor, I'd be like, let's put him in with the literature, the arts, whatever, maybe sports, and then you'll be a different guy altogether.
yeah, and specialize in that.
And you will be
instead of
academics because your marks will be great. Because that's exactly.
Yeah.
They'll force you to do logarithms and all these things.
I in fact like the fact that now India is producing some good sports talent after quite a few years now. Like now
better than before, I suppose.
Yeah,
At
with the
1.3 billion, it should be a little better than that. I mean, look at our football situation.
yeah, but the Commonwealth Games, it's still a positive sign.
That's the lowest form of sport. It's like 6 teams. And people in Australia don't even send the full team. Okay, it's not bad, but let's not. It's just Neeraj Chopra at the moment.
No,
Got gold medal.
There's
in Olympics.
Nikat Zareen. There's so many
I'll
other
give her
boxers.
that. I'll give Nikat Zareen, which is the world champion as well.
Yeah,
So that's different.
So many other boxers
You know your boxing.
and
Very good.
judo guys.
Should I test your boxing?
Yeah,
International
sure.
boxing. So who's your top 5 boxers of all time? Who would be your top 5? I'd love to hear.
Top 5 boxers of all time. Definitely Muhammad Ali is
You put him in top 5 as a boxer. We're talking about as an icon.
As a boxer.
Pure boxing skill.
As a boxer,
Rope-a-dope.
pure boxing skill,
I'm saying any weight category. Both the Sugar Rays, Robinson, Leonard, Marvin
They
Hagler,
both were great.
Joe Louis.
Joe
Jack
Louis
Johnson,
is also in my list.
Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson is also...
Tyson Fury would also be up there.
Tyson Fury is also up there.
But you put Muhammad Ali number 1.
I put Muhammad Ali number 1 because you know what, in our school back in the day, we also have an award called the best loser. It's still an award in boxing. It's given to the person who won the match with the smallest margin.
Right.
Who put up the best fight
Right.
but still lost. That's the award given to the best loser. Coming to Muhammad Ali, I just felt like his defense was so good, and the way he didn't let him get that part of that scientific part of boxing.
No, I'll give that. He dictated the fight by keeping them away from him, and
and he went all the 15 rounds most often on will.
and never stopped talking.
On will, yeah.
So, Floyd Mayweather, you would rank on top.
Floyd Mayweather
Defensive boxer again.
is my contemporary most favorite boxer. Yeah. I also like the Spanish boxer.
Oscar de la Hoya.
not Oscar de la Hoya. The one his name's just slipping out of my mind.
Roberto Duran.
No. The Spanish boxer with the gold hair, slightly golden hair. He just recently also.
You're talking MMA?
No.
Proper boxing.
Yeah.
He'll come back.
His name's
If
just
anybody
slipped
out
out.
here speaks Spanish, please send us the name as quickly as possible. Espanol. Yeah. So top 5, very interesting. Lennox Lewis?
Lennox Lewis.
He beat everybody. He beat everyone for
No, I never liked
you
him.
won't put him on top.
Never liked him.
Yeah.
Canelo, Alvarez.
Alvarez,
Yeah,
yes.
Alvarez, I really like. Again, very technically superior boxer and reminds me of our school days somehow. Like, just.
Because they look like Indian boys.
No, just still shorter maybe.
Yeah.
And just more of that Indian sense of a physique. And but school boxing was a great discipline, gave us a lot of character, I feel. I think most people think boxing is about two people getting inside the ring and beating the shit out of each other, not really realizing what a mindful and scientific
what a tiring sport it is. Try
Very
boxing
tiring.
for one round, forget 5 or 3.
One round.
One round. I
One
remember
round feels
whatever
like
we did.
3 hours.
Your arms are gone, your shoulders are gone, your back is gone, and you don't want to lift your hand after
Do you
that.
know where the power of a punch
Stomach,
actually lies? No.
From the abs,
The legs.
the core. Yeah.
The legs,
Yeah.
because the first thing you hook is your legs, and that entire energy goes up from behind into your lower back, upper back, shoulders. I'm sure you were a boxer also in Bombay.
Well, box, but I wouldn't call myself a boxer. But they say in batting also, when you want to hit the ball really hard, the guys with strong hamstrings, they take the ball from below.
Yeah.
If you see like Adam Gilchrist,
Yeah.
MS Dhoni, the way they bat, it's always coming from low to up.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Like they say, the power lies in the hips,
Yeah.
but the hips really get
Even
triggered.
Javelin, it comes from his hams, where he starts to throw.
Yeah.
So we've descended into sports. Why did you do this? It was supposed to be a life story in movies and videos and all that. But
Well, sports is a part of life.
it's so interesting that people have such interesting parts to them we don't know because you become famous as a filmmaker and then they only think of you like I would never think I'd be talking boxing with you here, which is for me far more exciting. to listen.
I think it's the only thing that gave me so much discipline in life.
Yeah, so
I still carry that discipline.
It's a spiritual
in me.
connection. I can see that, and why not?
Still carry that discipline in me. Yeah.
Fair enough. What do you think of this new wave? Last thing, then we'll get back to your life quickly. This new wave thing of these internet stars trying to box, like the Logan Paul and Jake Paul, challenging people and calling them out. The whole idea of going up the ranks in boxing is getting turned on its head because this is larger than life and people want to see it. Although his 2 fights got cancelled, Jake Paul.
Yeah.
But it's you become a sensation overnight because you have followers and you box a little.
Yeah, I think the true test is in the ring, no? So once, if somebody is asking for it, I think a champion should take on anyone. So
That Conor McGregor fight with, although they were only boxing with Floyd.
Conor McGregor is a sham as far as boxing is concerned.
You think?
Yeah.
But he was over the hill by the time he boxed, as in both were.
I mean, so is
Floyd, yeah.
So is Floyd over the hill.
But he didn't knock
more
him
than
out.
over.
I saw the fight and it was like
Yeah, he didn't
he
knock
was
him.
in control, but you would think if it was Cassius,
It
Muhammad
was.
Ali,
Yeah, it wasn't, but still, like you said, he was over the hill. He's fighting at 41 and taking up the fight. And actually, I think that just shows his astute confidence in his skill that he never lost, and he took this guy on. So though this guy is very, very, McGregor could be very unorthodox and erratic as a boxer.
One punch wonder kind of thing.
Yeah. And he was known for his punches.
Yeah.
Before,
I think the pressure would be on you as a boxer if the other guy's got that one punch thing.
I'm all for Khabib.
Oh, he's superb.
Habib.
I love that guy. He's fantastic. Yeah. Fabulous. Okay, let's not descend into MMA. I'll get fired because we have to talk about your life. So, you're Filmi Dil Hai Hindustani. You were working with Aziz and then...
Ashoka with
you worked on
Santosh
Ashoka.
Sivam. Yeah.
Oh.
Did 2 films only as an AD. Took myself to New York.
My memory of Santosh Sivan is he comes on time and shoots on time, which is just wonderful.
Yeah, he finishes on time too.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Amazing discipline. I like this whole... So that was very good kind of exposure for me working with him because, again, it's about discipline and focus and, my friends from South India are known for their sense of timing and discipline. So I like that it rubbed off nicely on my...
Did Shah Rukh know you can box? You ever get to talk to him or you have to stay your distance as an AD and all that?
No, in fact, I was one of his favorites because our names kind of...
Shah Rukh, Faruk.
So a lot of...
I can imagine the older guys.
So a lot of times Aziz Mirza... that actually happened many times. Aziz Saab used to say Shah Rukh and I used to turn around.
No, the other way is funnier. They bring Shah Rukh on the side and say, no, Faruk ko bulao. Yeah. So it was cool?
Yeah, it's very
He's
cool.
also a sports-loving guy. So I'm thinking if you got time to bond with him, he would have, people like sports.
He's always so energetic. Feels like he's always onto something. So he's great.
He's got good karma. He's always nice. I've noticed on sets he's just nice.
He's a
nice
gracious.
guy.
Shah Rukh Khan is a gracious person.
Always ready to laugh and all that.
Yeah.
Shah Rukh, come on the show. See, we've said nice things. We're not like those others. Not to mention names. Yeah. Okay. So then, when did you take the full plunge? I mean, it couldn't have been easy. You're a guy from Barn School and all that. No Godfather and
no, none of that. So just did 2 films, realized that writing is everything, and that both those films I had worked on didn't really do well. So I wondered why they didn't do well, because they had everything going for them.
Did Ashok do well?
No, Ashok also didn't really do well at the box office, and didn't kind of get that kind of acclaim that we were hoping.
Wrong government was in charge. This one would have pushed it.
Well, don't know about that.
Avoid the blow. Just keep avoiding. Yeah. Do a Floyd.
Yeah. So, kind of realized that writing was everything more or less, and that if I was able to concentrate and become a writer and a storyteller, then I would have something to offer and maybe have a future in cinema. Otherwise, what else would I have to offer as a director if I didn't even have a story to offer? So kind of concentrated a lot on writing, taught myself the craft, went to New York, studied screenwriting.
That's there.
Came back, continued to write, continued to write.
Quick one on New York Film Academy.
Yeah, just for writing. It was good exposure. I was already coming from a sense of practical knowledge, having worked on sets, so it worked better for me. And it kind of, I think, also visually and the writing and the sense of visual imagination both kind of was happening together.
What's the different thing when you write and make? In a sense, right? Because that makes you...
Sometimes I interpret my own material differently as a director.
Absolutely.
Than when I have written it.
That's fascinating.
So I write stories, screenplay, dialogue, everything. Sari.
So it's also you've taken a break. You've written it. It's there, and then you from the perspective change because you've taken a break while you're putting it all together.
Yes.
Then you relook at it.
Yes.
So it's almost like you're looking from outside. You're objective about it in a sense.
Yeah, and that's a great process. That's the same I am with editing also. I don't step into my editing room till my editor...
So you don't have that plan thing.
No.
It's more like streams of consciousness. I'll come in, I'll watch, and I'll see what hits me.
No, everything is planned, but the thing is you also have to learn to be detached with your material, right? Thankfully, I'm not very attached with my material. I can step back.
Welcome. Right place. Ain't got no pride in this show.
So I think just as filmmakers, you need to be detached with your own material and let. So for instance, to give you an example of that, for Khuda Haafiz Chapter 2 also, just as an example, I do this with every project. I don't step into my editing room till the editor has not completely finished his cut. But for 2 months. I give 2 months to my editor to edit, do whatever he wants to with the film.
But the interpretation could be completely not what you thought.
It's okay. Let's put that to test.
Then it look like... but
it doesn't happen like that because the screenplay is done over 6 to 7 months. I'm a serious writer in that sense. I've clocked about 9 to 10,000 hours writing so far in my life. So my screenplays are pretty solid.
Shakespeare really left an effect. It looks like he himself did 8,000. You stopped at what? Macbeth. Oh, I shouldn't say the name. Fascinating. But what's good, you're talking about being flexible, which I understand, but I can't understand the fact that you're allowing yourself to sort of critique yourself in a sense.
Yeah, I think I thankfully have that.
This is only you. You're not taking 5 people into a corner, family, friends, and all that.
Nothing.
You come back, you look at the whole process.
Absolutely.
Again.
I don't really ask too much of opinion because jitne muh utni baatein, jitne sar utni soch. So you don't get
again Macbeth. Check it. Chapter Act 2, Scene 1.
Don't get into that space. I give my why am I hiring somebody? Because I trust that they can do their job hopefully better than I can do that particular job. So I trust my editor in that sense. I was just on a call with him strangely some time back, and I let him create the edit after he's read the entire script. He has the whole script, and I'm a precision filmmaker. So in the sense that I'm slightly a guerrilla filmmaker. I go in very precisely and shoot exactly what I want. There's no coverage happening here. I'm not shooting one thing from all necessarily angles.
That word safety, I hope.
There is no safety.
I can't understand that.
That's
safety?
It's
like
some bullshit jargon.
Yeah, it's a marketplace.
एक safety shot लेते. Safety क्या? Either you know it's working or you don't. What the hell does safety mean?
Thank you, Faruk Kabir, telling the truth. Why need people listening?
The safety shot is just your own doubt in your second guessing yourself.
Exactly.
No, I shoot fast. Anybody who knows me and who's shot with me knows I shoot at
I
breakneck
think it's because
speed.
you're Aziz and Santosh. Even first stop, they were good.
They were pretty lazy with, I kind of learned from them partly what not to do. And how not to spend so much money and have discussions for half an hour on set. How should we take this shot? No, sir. We are moving on.
See, but that's an interesting point because I totally accept, especially in advertising, you see that a lot. But then when the hero starts interfering, I'm not taking names, then what do you do there? Because in India, unfortunately, the hero does.
I think with every actor, especially your hero, you have to be able to have the uncomfortable conversations with them comfortably very early on in your relationship with them, so that the boundaries are drawn. It's very important to draw those boundaries.
2 words: action and cut. In between, he's not supposed to bother you.
Yeah. Ask me something that is relevant enough. But yeah, I mean, see, everything is a jugalbandi. But after a point, filmmaking is such a process where you need everybody else to step back and let the director. Yeah.
You can't not have a captain. It's not a democratic process. I agree with you totally.
Till a point it's democratic, but after a point it needs to be a one-man vision.
It's democratic in the sense that you don't want to abuse people on a set. But at the end of the day, it's your vision. You wrote the damn story. You made the thing. You chose everybody who's sitting there. Almost everyone is there out of your...
In this case, also because I've written the story.
Exactly.
So, lived every character.
I'm specifically talking about people like you, which are not that many, who write, and the whole thing is you, right? So I can understand. We have to fast forward because we have to take a break in about 5 minutes. Then, what was the next big film?
So my first feature film, I started with directing music videos, documentaries. I shot a documentary called The Unheard Voices of the People of India, Hindustan ke aam aadmi ki unkahi unsuni awaaz. We traveled 27,000 kilometers. Allah Ke Bande was my first feature film.
That made waves,
Yeah, did some ad film work after that. Made a film called 377 Abnormal, which is on the LGBTQ community and the...
I shouldn't have laughed. I'm sorry.
And
it's a wrong reaction. Yeah?
No, that film did really well, 377 Abnormal, and it was actually on the journey of some of the petitioners from the LGBTQ community who petitioned the courts in India over 17 long years to decriminalize homosexuality. So the next time, Cyrus, you're walking with a man on the road with your hands held with him and giving him a hug, nobody's going to really arrest you. It's because of some of these petitioners who...
Kaisa baat karte hain? Tera naam bhi hai Faruk and Kabir. People think they're two of you. No, I was arguing. We have Naveen, who's closer to this whole cause thing, and you're still not allowed to marry. So I was under the impression, people should clarify. 377 means it's not criminal to have sexual relations.
It's not criminal to live in with a man living in with another man or holding hands. It was earlier called the Buggery Act. This slang "bugger off,"
Victoria,
which you usually use.
Yeah.
One of your forefathers, King Henry, it came from there.
बस आधा घंटा लगा आधा घंटे में मेरी तो respect गया completely ना you count on the clock 28 minutes
Henry the Fifth, one of your Anglo-Indian forefathers.
Hormuz Panchvi. Although you look more Parsi than anyone I've ever met. Be very careful. You have to check your forefathers, Henry, Harry. So that again, interesting topics that you chose as well. And nobody talks that whole fight.
Allah Ke Bande was on juvenile crime. 377 was
music as well.
377 was on the historic journey of the LGBTQ community in India. Khuda Haafiz 1 was inspired by a true life story that I had read in a Times of India headlines article, really about a man who lost his wife in the flesh trade in the economic downturn of 2008 and then ends up going to find her. And then, of course, chapter 2 is primarily based and takes up rape in a big way in our country.
Obviously not shying from the big topics. There's only one left, but that we won't discuss right now. That film I will make. About Hum Sab Ek Hai. Then there's a web series.
Yeah, there's a web series called Hello Mini. It was on MX Player. Again, a very voyeuristic show. When the script came to me, it is Applause series, and the script came to me, I was like, wow, this is very sexual in nature. I don't think I'm going to be able to, do this. But then,
strange OTT and sexual.
No, strange. But strangely enough, at that time, another thing I thought was that I said, we are a very voyeuristic society. That's 100%. That's why Big Boss is such a big hit in our country. And I had never watched a single episode. I actually sat and watched one episode of Big Boss and I was like, yeah, okay, I get it now. So again, Hello Mini was made in a very voyeuristic sense. I kind of catered to that sense of voyeurism in us of wanting to peep into other people's lives and see what the hell is happening.
I have to confess, I also do watch Big Boss from time to time, and it's the same problem. You can't believe you're watching it. It's like page 3. You can't believe you're reading it after after 3 minutes. But you're reading it. She left him for a 17-year-old, whatever. You can't believe it. But yeah, that's life. So Macbeth is a long way off. You're doing that. Yeah. But as a young boxer, you have to fight whoever's in front of you. It's like that.
Yeah.
Cool. So is there something coming up now?
Yeah, there's the two scripts on the table. One is a film that's I've written that's being made by Surya, the star from down south.
Yeah.
He's kind of doing that film in Tamil with another director. I've written that film, and hopefully the Hindi version of
Finally, a Hindi film is being made into a South Indian film.
Yes.
After 40 years of us copying South Indian film, finally you reversed it.
Yes.
Thank God, yeah.
And hopefully the Hindi version of that film is something I'm going to be doing. So.
So we still have to make it. So you just have the script.
The Tamil version is being made by them.
So we go back to the Tamil guys winning again. Because they make it first, and then even though it's your script originally.
Yeah. Somewhat like that.
Would you work with Aziz and Santosh again?
As what?
I don't know if they work with you in some capacity. Obviously, I understand this.
Yeah, Santosh. Yeah, of course. I mean, Santosh.
Santosh could work as camera.
Yeah, Cheta is really nice, and I'm very, very fond of him.
Yeah.
Have deep regard for his body of work. Yeah. And would love
my
to.
memory, we did a North Star ad, which had Madhavan, no, all struggling actors and models. Madhavan was there. And there was a Kashmiri boy who became famous as well. Oh, damn. Not with you. It'll come back to me. So we were there and we were running around somewhere in Navi Mumbai with the North Star shoes. Those are the shots. And we could never find Santosh Sivan because he finishes the shot, he ran off with the camera. So I thought everybody was like that. Next thing you shoot, they don't move. Nobody moves. It just goes on, waiting. Chai pila do. Sochne de. What is going on? Score kya hai? Back to normal. So he was just keep running away and they had to all find him with no mobile phones. They were all searching for Santosh in the open areas of Navi Mumbai.
He must be just be thinking, all idiots, these guys.
That is great.
Instead have gone on to set his next shot.
And they treat everyone the same. It's very egalitarian, so you don't even know.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have to take a quick break. I don't even know if Silvery, our main producer, has come in. For you, sir, we have got an extra.
It's her VIP movement that's going on today.
तो नहीं है, है. 377 के बाद सोचना पड़ेगा, but yes, I mean, जो भी है, let's say them. Them is cool. Them is good. So we take a break. Faruk Kabir is with us, artist and boxer. Director, writer, but above all boxer, which we have unearthed. Not everybody knows about this, but I'm sure once this gets out, people will be very interested in that part. And actors will come on time. Sir, it's champion. All right, break. Just discussing young girls. I don't know why that topic came out. I guess, I mean, as an artist, it's important. Silvery has joined us.
Oh man,
Silvery,
the traffic.
Such batao, because now the people think we rant about these things for nothing.
No, not at all.
Because Faruk has suffered.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we know he's telling the truth because now you've also suffered.
Dude, I was, for the first time ever, I got stuck on traffic on Airport Road. Airport Road was jam-packed. You couldn't move an inch on Airport Road.
VIP movement, it has to be.
God damn it, dude. Yeah, it has to. What else could it be? I'm just so pissed off.
We should have a national holiday where we're allowed to pick up the VIP and put him in a dustbin.
Absolutely.
We must be allowed as a people.
I think one day should be VIP common day, as in where just the common man can go as VIP.
As a VIP.
Yeah,
oh,
nice,
that'll be great.
Nice.
Yeah, like you get 1 day a year. Every person gets 1 day a year.
It's ridiculous. It's perverse now. It's just out of control.
Har ghar ek VIP.
At last, the tiger is coming out. Shabash. Well done. But no, just think back to, we had the Maldives president, remember? For the Maldives president, for 4 days, they screwed up
correct. Yeah,
Western Express for 1 day, South Bombay for 4 days in a row.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maldives has its own president?
That's exactly my point. I didn't want to sound like a classist.
The Indian Prime Minister.
It's not US or Russia or something. I mean, it's Maldives. We all have to stand at attention for 6 hours.
Yeah.
What do they bring to the table at the end of the day? I mean, due respect.
They bring such good Instagram pictures to us every day.
Where else will celebrities go?
Yeah, especially now we got tomato flu coming. From what I gather.
Yes.
You heard about this? There's a new thing called tomato flu. It's now.
I heard of some monkeypox.
Monkeypox. So the market is open after COVID. We need things. What's the next big success going to be? So this tomato
Big
flu.
pharma needs big names.
I'm giving you scripts.
Yeah, it's very possible that they just keep manufacturing pandemics after this, right? Because they want us to be dependent on...
I think big pharma is now going to focus more on creating more viruses.
More viruses, yes.
Urban India is ready. You just half suggest to them and they'll go back home. Just have to say, danger, Khasi. Go.
Absolutely, yes.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah, correct. Faruk,
So-
I'm a fellow boarding schoolite.
Oh wow.
I was in Panchgani in Sanjivan Vidyalaya.
Oh wow.
And we
The poor man's barns.
I know,
Yeah.
I know Sanjeev.
Oh, you know Sanjivan
Of course,
Vidyalaya?
right next to Peter's, right?
Right, exactly, right next to
Yeah,
St.
yeah,
Peter's.
That sounds vulgar, yeah.
Because we used to come to Peter's to play football. We used to kick their ass and
Oh,
you know,
okay.
school.
And our school used to watch.
Let me put
We
it,
used to
let
watch.
me
We
put
wanted
it
to
in
invite
perspective.
Yes.
He's the athlete jock of the school,
Yes, of course.
boxer, footballer and all.
Yeah.
Silvery was
I was in
the
table
guy
tennis.
who wasn't allowed to shower.
Arey, that table tennis story of that guy, that 40-year-old, what's his name?
Sharat Kamal.
Sharat Kamal. Wow.
41 actually, yeah.
Wow.
Fantastic, yeah. But again, Commonwealth. I'm not taking anything away from
Come
him.
on,
Let's
like,
say the world's
come
going on
on.
now. World's going on. We'll see. No, I'm just saying. I'm happy.
Commonwealth.
I sound bad, but I don't mean it that way. I'm just saying, just put it in perspective.
Yeah,
But you're right.
yeah,
He's 41 and from out of nowhere, they played really well. He doesn't like sports here.
No, that's fine.
Acha.
I'm okay with
Video
sports.
games.
These are small balls, ping pong.
Oh, yeah, table tennis. I'm aware. But yeah, so this is like a contention I have with all boarding schools. How was the mess food in your boarding school? Because ours was
Everything that
terrible.
everything that I ate in that mess, I don't eat again now in my life.
What is
I hate
Anglo-Indians?
vada paos and poha because of the mess
I
food.
hate boiled eggs because of school.
Oh man, I totally get this. I relate 100%.
I hate porridge and
I should-
dalia because of
you
I
should
school.
should
never
leave.
have-
The bonding is too much. Boarding school ke
Oh, man.
bande. Look what we've created.
terrible.
Oh.
Boarding school is the worst.
Yeah,
I wanted to ask.
But actually, you
you
do
were-
that in your stand-up, right? Because you've spoken to every boarding school
Yeah,
guy you've met,
exactly.
and you bonded over the fact that the food sucked.
The food
North, south,
always
east or west,
sucks.
wherever the boarding school
Yes.
is.
But
famous.
we started in a co-ed actually.
We also had a co-ed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, St. Peter's is.
Doesn't look like that looking at you.
See, he saw a junior from boarding school and immediately goes into rag mode immediately. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, we did get bullied. We got hit by teachers a lot. Did you ever get hit by teachers?
But yeah, in fact, our vice principal, he used to give us the choice of 3 different canes.
Oh.
One was a thick one was a semi-thick one, and one was a really light one. And any new boy, we used to say, hey,
But these canes
pick
were...
up the thin one.
Oh, that hurt.
That's the one used
That's
to
the worst.
really
Yeah,
whack.
God.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the way he's saying it, he's enjoying it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
Can
used
you
to-
imagine?
we used to-
Shahrukh comes late on the
Yeah.
set. Shahrukh, we have 3 canes. Do you have the guts, Shahrukh? Vidyut, come on, he's young. Have you ever shouted at Vidyut?
Didn't need to. He's so disciplined.
Yeah.
He always brings so much respect and discipline to the process of filmmaking. When you look at him, you feel like he's just an action star.
I don't think you can
There's
last-
so much more to him
Shahrukh,
than
you
just
won't-
being an action
You won't
star.
last in IVM. Because you're used to disciplined people. You come here and work for 1 day. Our producer came 42 minutes late.
Yeah, that's
Named
true.
VIP
I can't
movement.
even deny it.
Guest came on time still, huh?
Yes,
by the
correct.
way.
Yeah, sure. What was shooting that the jail rains fight
Yeah.
scene like?
Yeah.
Because it was a lot of moving pieces.
Yeah.
It was quite a long scene also.
Yeah.
And I've heard Vidyu does most of his own action at his fighting.
Does all
is that
his own
true?
stunts. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
We'll never know, no? It's like
No,
in
no,
Gulag, they said,
no.
Amir Khan
So
would
when
be
we
You
train
never
and
know.
all,
There's
man.
all
Huh?
BTS,
Definitely.
all the BTS of the film is
Yeah.
out there
Okay.
for you to see. The reason why he doesn't use other stunt people is because he feels he has a responsibility towards his audience, and if the body double doesn't do it as much finesse like he would do it, that's his bonus.
No, it's like that Tom Cruise story. So what I don't understand is a lot of money rides on these guys. So why would you take a chance?
Oh, well, it's all measured. It's all very technical. Action is a very technical thing to shoot, as much as it doesn't feel like that. And of course, coming back to the prison action sequence,
Absolutely,
it's
yeah.
almost kind of, I get the feeling with the feedback I get, it's almost becoming like an iconic sequence.
Absolutely, dude. Oh,
And-
what an amazing, intense,
Yeah,
crazy.
that was the
choreographed
first
scene.
thing we shot in the schedule.
He's just
Yeah.
trying to keep the senior happy. No, we can-
Not at all. This is
Dariya.
great fighting sequences.
Yeah, it's pretty raw and intense, and yeah. So I had a blast shooting that. We had a great time. I enjoy what I do.
And also,
so-
I imagine because if the actor does his own stunts, you can show the face a lot more. You don't have to hide the face.
Yeah.
That's a
true
huge
that,
advantage.
True that. None of those cheating kind of shots
Exactly.
necessarily.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was hardcore. They were in the sand. They were in constant rain, and again the action is so real, so raw. So you
Also,
need to feel the punch.
If he's an action star, there's ego involved also. That's why he has to really come through.
Absolutely, yeah.
In a sense. He's got to prove himself in a sense every time.
Yeah, it's
Like
good
more
health.
kill count, like higher the kill count.
I
every
remember
movie.
first time we spoke to Akshay Kumar,
Yeah.
we started chatting about his action sequences, and that's when he woke up.
Oh wow.
Till then he was quite
that's
bored with
great.
the Khiladi story, which of course is quite predictable, so fair enough. And people ask the same question. We're talking about a specific action sequence, something on a helicopter and all. Then his whole voice changed. You know, like how we discussed boxing and both of us just woke up immediately. You know, it's like you can see the passion in the thing. Yeah.
What do you think of Liger, the boxing movie that's coming? That's a boxing movie or UFC movie? Boxing,
I
right?
don't really know. It's
The
I think
Vijay Deverakonda.
MMA,
Mike
right?
Tyson in a cameo.
Mike Tyson cameo.
It's mixed
Yeah.
martial arts, no?
Mixed martial arts.
Yeah,
Things
but-
like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
But liger, the animal, is a very passive animal. They've bred many of them. They get bigger than a tiger or a lion.
Okay.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, not a very hostile animal. They're very
Okay.
passive for some reason.
So a theory going around for the movie is that Mike Tyson is Vijay Deverakonda's father in the movie. Because so
it's
tiger, he's Mike Tyson's a tiger, right?
Yeah.
If the mother is like the character of a lioness or of some sort metaphorically, then this guy would be a lioness's and a tiger's son, so liger, and that's the theory going around.
Oh,
I don't know if it's true or
so
not.
Mike Tyson married an Indian or had
Well, no,
sexual
married.
intercourse,
Married is gone.
sexual intercourse with an
Indian
Indian
lion.
woman.
Galti se,
and-
galti se.
Galti se,
Yeah.
galti se,
Yeah,
galti se.
So yeah, times are changing, man. Times are great.
But I find him, now we'll segue back to boxing, this avatar of him as this guy doing podcasts and all is fascinating, right? It's so different from the brutal Mike Tyson that we grew up with in 86 to
Yeah.
89.
That's true. That's true.
That guy just, you want to
seems
be close to him, and now he's this friendly, funny guy.
Yeah, seems wiser though, no?
Yeah.
which
It's
is good.
Amazing to see a change in a person like that because he was boxing.
Because he's also gone through a big low, right? He lost everything he had. He became broke absolutely. So I feel that realization
What a
in
life
him.
he's had.
Yeah.
Quickly, last boxing question. 86 to 89 amongst the top 5, just the first 4 years before he goes to jail.
86 to 89.
When he's the title holder for the first 4 years, I'm saying. Because that was a different Mike Tyson. That's the beast.
Yeah,
Who
yeah.
beat Marvis Fraser in like 40 seconds and nobody could touch him.
Yeah.
Would you say as good as any?
Yeah, true. Even you've not seen fights, if you do not seen knockouts like that even through Muhammad Ali.
No.
Yeah. Mike Tyson brought something else on the table. Yeah, it's that.
And you know what I
it's
like,
that-
Faruk? My hair still stands up thinking, because I used to get up early morning to see it was free for us, paid for you. And he had no fanfare. And the other guy would come at 17 girls and this baja and music and and stare downs and all. He'd just come with a black cloth. Just the head would move twice, take it off. It's like, let's go.
Yeah, he's
It reminded me of Viv-
actually the raging bull.
Imran Khan, speaking of Viv Richards, same thing, He said, Viv is the only one who eyeballed me.
Wow,
He
nice.
would stand there, hamstrings cocked like that, on with the bat in his hand and wait to take the stance, and he'd maintain eye contact with Imran at his best, bowling at 150. Nobody else would do that. All their batsmen would look away. When the fast bowler is at his best, you don't want to make eye contact.
Was Tyson good at shit talking, like talking shit?
We talk back later on, talk rubbish later on and all that. But in the beginning, those first 4 years, he just wanted to kill you.
Yeah.
It was like you take the Rottweiler ka leash off.
Leash off and bull.
And
Raging bull.
the testosterone in the room when he's doing that is just something else, man.
Yeah.
It's like that's a warrior killing. Like, I can't think of anything like that. And then, of course, when he comes back from jail, it's slowly not the same. And then at the end, I mean,
I think he just took away his own greatness by that bite that he did. I mean, that was just that was the one.
I think 86 to 90, Evander wouldn't have had a chance.
He was hungry, guys. It's okay.
It was MMA. It's a different style of sport. Sorry, let's get back to. We can't keep segueing the boxing.
I want to ask. Very early on in your career, you got a chance to work AD on Phir Bhi Dil Hindustani.
Yeah,
We talked about
that's
that.
right.
How was it like working with Shah Rukh Khan, Juhi Chawla, Paresh Rawal?
Very amazing. They're really nice people. They're really normal, nice people. I mean, Juhi, we used to call her Juhi Amma, was also very, very sweet. And of course, Shah Rukh Bhai is very gracious and treats everybody really nicely. And I got the good fortune of working with both of them in very close quarters because it was their own production house. I was the youngest guy around, fairly, reasonably adab aur tehzeeb thi mujhme. So I got tolerated in a room. Acha, there's somebody sitting in a corner listening.
Yeah.
I got tolerated because of good manners.
That's half of why I'm at IBM. This is good manners.
Other half is you're not there.
Yes.
We're waiting for you. That's the other half.
Absolutely. Right.
Absolutely.
So-
Actually, he is like that. When you talk about tehzeeb and all that, he's very polite. He's especially respectful, that old world respect with elder people, seniors, strangers. He's a great PR guy. You know what? You don't come. You just be on the phone with everyone and say, hi Faruk, welcome to the, you just do that bit. Warm him up so he's in a good mood, put him here.
But must have been a great impact on you, like very early on in your career, I imagine this happened, right?
Yeah, I think it's such an impressionable year now when you work with, I think you're right, I was very fortunate to work with nice people and fairly intelligent, hardworking, passionate people. So that I think rubbed off pretty nicely on me in those impressionable years. I mean, all thanks to them. I didn't really have a clear-cut guru ever, but again, I'm slightly autodidact in that nature. As in,
I'll explain. Angrezi nahi aate unko.
Achha.
So he likes to be his own boss.
I got it.
And he likes to.
I
it's not
concurred.
possible to.
Yeah.
He's anti-authority. Authority can't take care of him.
Yeah.
He's a bit like us guys.
Loose cannons.
He's like the young Tyson. You be careful. Stay there. Were you a good puncher?
I was a very good boxer, yes.
More attacking, more defensive. Just basic.
I was an intelligent boxer. Always. I never went into like Tyson, go in for the knockout or something. I was more like how Floyd Mayweather is. It's more technical.
Scientific.
Yeah, I was more scientific. There's an award called in school called the best. I've won that twice.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Excellent.
So I was very.
That's basically the guy doesn't get hit much.
Yeah.
Generally, that's how you look at the scientific boxer. He comes back, he looks almost clean.
And again, I like Alvarez a lot because the kidney punch was my favorite punch, as in because I was slightly more shorter than the other boys in my weight category. So
Can you show us kidney punch?
That was that was my go-to punch.
Yeah. Are you going to make a boxing film?
Yes, I've always wanted to.
Boarding school. In one of the rounds, you can knock out in the second round. Karega kam.
I'll get beat up. I'll be the guy, the goon on the road who
never the
fights
role.
the hero.
Just take it, yeah.
Boxing is still not such popular culture in our country as yet. No, I mean, like I said, only the reserve forces, the army, the navy, the railways. Usually, boys from there come into boxing. Boxing is not like it's not like football and cricket played in every school of the country, and it's not.
Pocket billiards is. That's the sport we can
pocket
examine.
billiards. So, sab log.
Yeah, I was pretty good, yes, Silvery.
Yeah.
Back in the day, huh?
Yeah.
Nice. Good.
Chalo, let's move to the AMAs.
Yes, let's absolutely move to the AMAs.
Have you seen the web series?
I have not. Shockers.
Sexual.
Shockers also is a
Shockers.
series I did. That's
Yes.
on Hotstar. That was even before Netflix and Amazon came to India.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And
Shockers was the first original series on Hotstar.
horror, right? This is.
It's supernatural. Horror is a slightly abused term in our country. I mean, horror you usually think is
IVM.
Ramsey Brothers or somebody doing some exorcism.
Hey, don't knock Ramsey Brothers. Green blood, bro.
Green.
I pay money for that, yeah.
Green blood?
They've had green blood in 20 Saal Baad or something. It was beautiful. I was a young boy. I was watching this movie the days when it was on one Doordarshan channel or whatever. It was amazing. Just that, because it just kills the horror.
Okay, wow.
Because the blood spills out green. You know, I mean, like,
So we had nothing like that.
Yeah.
Ours was more, I mean, I was more inspired by the slightly M. Night Shyamalan-ish
Nice.
way of...
what happened to him?
What
He's
happened
back
to him?
in stride now.
He's,
Is he?
he's-
Yeah.
What do you mean? What happened to him? It's
After
we are
three,
all
four big
work.
hit films,
We are all work in progress.
He reminds me of Ram Gopal Verma in that sense. You know, like he started really well and then suddenly disappears. And then
That's not true.
No?
He's been doing good, prolific work.
The one with what's the actor's man?
Bruce Willis.
No, the new one with the crossover between all of them.
He's done with
Glass
Joaquin Phoenix
and then-
also,
yeah.
right? Like
Yeah, that one I heard was really good. Like really cool mashup.
he's an unusual filmmaker, no? So
Very strange middle name.
M. Night.
Follow me at Instagram and Twitter on Bored Brocha. I'm so bored, I need your help. I need your love. I need your touch. Okay, just follow me.
All right. Cool. Let's go to the AMAs. This first one comes in from Dhwani Kulkarni. She says, hi Cyrus and Faruk. Cyrus, big fan of yours. Have been listening to the show since the pandemic and can't seem to put it down.
She's lying.
Faruk, she says, Faruk, you've directed both theatre and then also TV and film. What's the biggest difference when it comes to the both of them acting wise? And what are the biggest challenges in both? And what advice do you give to actors who might be making that shift from theatre to camera or vice versa?
from theatre to camera, vice versa. I feel like every actor should have the knowledge to be able to decipher the script really well and to be able to mark their scripts really well, and actors don't usually, I don't see a lot of actors do that who I've worked with. But I think for me, there's no difference between directing for the web or directing for film. Finally, you're trying to tell a good story, and I feel this is all jargon. You should not get stuck into these complex things. You're an actor. Let the actor disappear and only the act remain. As in, it's
The only problem I'll say from the point of view of acting is that theatre is actually easier no matter what people say, because you stay in the moment for a longer period of time. So you get into a rhythm and momentum. You can't get out of it. So actually, it's like playing a sport or something. You get better generally.
Sure.
You're in and out when you're doing cinema. So you've got to remember that. And it's really unnatural sometimes. You'll say action and you're saying something emotional or
sometimes shooting out a sequence also.
You also have to understand that theatre is an actor's medium.
Correct.
TV is a writer-producer medium.
Yeah.
And film is a director's medium, because it's the amalgamation
And
of...
internet is a truth's medium. Just throwing it out there.
So the advice would be just stick to your guns as an actor.
Yeah, I think just on set especially, just try and follow the director as much, because he's seeing everything in his head together while you might not be able to. So it's best to, if you trust your director, it's best to kind of go by...
You make us do it again.
If you don't trust your director, then just go by your own conviction. But if you trust your director, then completely go by his conviction or her conviction, whatever it is. I feel that's the best way.
Beautiful.
Don't worry, we have to audition first.
That's right.
A lot of times actors want to do something, but I purposely make sure I don't let them do that. Even though they might in that moment think that's correct, because again, I'm slightly Shakespearean in nature. I'd like to do it for the audience. Sometimes actors act for themselves. You have to be able to act for the audience. You have to entertain the audience, right? So that difference I've seen in many
write
actors.
this down for the podcast. We should start. That should be our first line.
Entertain the audience first.
Disclaimer.
Correct. Next one comes in from Siddharth Prasad, who says, Hi Faruk, love the film Khuda Haafiz. Didn't get a chance to watch the sequel yet, but it's definitely on my watch list. I wanted to ask, how was it working with Vidyut on the movie, and what sort of a person is he off screen? We already answered this.
Yeah, he's a lovely person off screen. He's also a friend now. So
But why would you go with him as the first choice? Not that it's a bad thing. Why did his name come in?
why would I not?
But why?
Again, what interested me is that I was wanting to do something with him that he had not explored before. It becomes boring for me to work with an actor who's... I'm already making them do something.
Bring the baggage of that.
I'm already making them do something that they've already done before. That doesn't interest
This is
me.
why I'm looking at porn as a career.
Yeah, I mean, you should go to Prague. Yeah.
Prague, is it? What is this regionalism of sorts? A type of Prague. What have they done? Yeah, I mean, I'd love to go.
They have the best producers for porn films in the world.
So I see you're watching a Pornhub, because I know a lot of Czech productions there myself. Yeah. You would understand better. You're not allowed. No? They've locked, the child lock is on. No?
Prague is in Czechoslovakia.
Oh, sorry. You're into the geography. ये तो पंजाबी है. He'll figure it out eventually.
Prague?
यार Vienna से right there.
How did you meet Vidyut? Like, how did you know him beforehand?
No, I didn't know him beforehand. We were introduced to meet and talk about a possible collaboration. And I just heard him out, and then I kind of told him this is what I am doing, and we decided to collaborate on it. See, the thing is with Vidyut, now there's a bias, right? I'd gone to meet an actor, and I have now landed up with a very, very dear friend. So for me, it's quite special, our relationship. Because it's very difficult in the industry to actually make genuine friends, and there's this cliche that goes around that actors किसी के दोस्त नहीं होते. That's all bullshit. They are as human as anything can get, unless vanity has got the better of it. But he's pretty down to earth and chill like that, and we always have very real conversation. It's not like I'm talking to some star or I have to cocoon something before saying to him. So credit goes to him.
Yeah.
You say that about me?
Never. No, you're very easy to talk to, Cyrus, of course.
Really?
Yeah.
You bastard.
I just don't talk.
Last 2 minutes जाने के बाद. Make sure. Yeah.
Nice. Great.
I just want to ask a segue question from the same point, which is there a checklist of actors that you'd like to work with?
Yes.
One or two.
I mean, yeah, sure. Ranveer Singh fascinates me with the kind of passion he puts in. There's Surya from down south, whose work I really like. There are other actors. There's Deepika, whose work I'm very fond of. Alia, of course. course, is really good at what she does. Shah Rukh Bhai would be a dream since I started my career with them. So yeah, I mean,
Shah Rukh ko phone kar. I'll organize this. You deserve Shah Rukh in your next film, nothing less.
Have you met Shah Rukh since? And have you talked to him? Okay, I AD'd on this film with you.
yeah, of course. My wife kind of shot a couple of ad films with him.
Oh, wow.
And she was playing his wife in those ad films.
Oh, wow.
I met him on set. Again, that's the only time I like.
So he was just a humble AD.
Yeah.
His wife went straight to co-star. Just remember that. So back in the family, you have to ask her about Shah Rukh, not him.
I mean, many years later, after I finished aiding, my wife did a couple of ads with him.
That's amazing. Riya Sinha has asked, hey Cyrus and Faruk, how's it going? Faruk, I wanted to know how was the experience of prepping for India's first supernatural web series? So how did that come about?
So Shockers came at a point when India was not making anything on the web. There was only, I think, TVF and Culture Machine, these two companies which were like doing some stuff. There's a saying that goes that if you've seen the bandwagon, it's already too late to get onto it. So I kind of was interested in doing the longer format. I was not getting work to do in the longer format. I was just getting ad film work. So I decided to stop making ad films, write my own stuff and make these short films. So Shockers, which is with Kalki Cochin, Diya Mirza, Amit Saad, Prateek Babbar, Mukesh Chabra, lots of these actors. Basically the concept was one night, one actor, one location, one story.
Sounds sexual now.
So each of Shocker's films have been shot just in one night. And they are these, I wanted to just tell these unusual spooky tales. I didn't even know who's going to buy it, what's going to happen. I'll start my own YouTube channel, put it out there. But luckily...
That's amazing. All the short
Hotstar.
stories have just a single actor.
But you
in them.
finished the shoot in one night.
Yeah. I am obnoxiously fast as a director.
That's fantastic, bro. I mean, we can save money if nothing else. Just imagine.
It's your
Yeah.
favorite kind of, yeah.
Exactly.
I was producing it
But
myself also.
I don't know
so
why people take so long.
I had to
shoot
do it in
sometimes.
a guerrilla way. I was producing it myself and I just thought, okay, all these actors who are friends of mine, let's just reach out to them.
It was gratis? They all worked?
No, I mean, later on when we did the sell to Hotstar,
Fair enough.
then there was something shared, very basic. But yeah, it was more on gesture and saying like, let's have fun. Let's come together for one night and let's have fun. Pretty much what you like to do, Cyrus, with strangers.
He's a boxer. He's going to keep punching. He can't do anything about it.
What's the fastest shoot you've been on? Because I know you complain about how long.
These films are 15, 14 minute long. I mean, these are
14
short
minute
films.
long,
Yeah.
No, but depends if you just do
Cyrus doesn't like it that long. He doesn't.
Cyrus
Can't last.
can't do it that way.
Yeah. Doesn't last that long with.
Article 377 pointed out that I have no future in this country. Yeah. Okay. So coming up, we were just discussing that when he interrupted and we will take a break. So coming up, you've got two scripts at the moment.
Yeah.
One is with Surya, which will first go, it's his story, goes into Tamil, then comes back and goes into Hindi.
Yeah.
Hopefully. But you haven't decided on that cast yet. And the second one?
The second is a very interesting yet non-jingoistic patriotic film. It's pretty
Not
much
possible in India.
pretty much the need of the hour right now.
You think?
Yeah. Why
I
not?
thought we could take a break from that for a little while.
No.
Thoda kafi ho gaya. I was feeling, I don't know, am I wrong? It just common sense. Yeah. I mean, they come and they gave the flag and all in the buildings and all, you know.
And that's nice.
Yeah, but then
That's nice. I feel like, honestly, for the longest time, I felt like, like when fancy cars used to drive in Bombay and all, we used to see a American flag on it.
Yeah.
And trust me.
That was my car.
I always, that was your car. I always wondered, even like 10 years back, why is there
But they didn't let
American and
us.
British flags?
correct.
Faruk, they didn't let us. They didn't. There was a
You're
law
right.
against.
You're
putting
absolutely right.
You dare take the flag out anywhere.
You're right. In
Yeah.
2000 and I think 15,
Jindal, one of the Jindal guys fought this case and blah blah blah. Yeah.
and the Supreme Court then allowed you to.
You realize you're a country, you should have your flag.
In fact, when the BMC guys came to my office, they already saw a very huge flag already there. Ever since that Supreme Court verdict came out, since then, वो shooting से एक flag आ गया था, we put it in our office.
Oh, nice.
And it's been there since.
I like to keep my options open. I have 7 flags.
Hotel.
Depending on who's visiting, Rishi. Come on. Just kidding. Don't send a
But
lawsuit.
they can. There's no excuse for any kind of delivery to be late ever again. If all the houses in India can get a flag before Independence
That's
Day.
good thinking.
That is
Yeah.
true.
There's no excuse
Zomato,
for
buck
anything,
up,
dude.
yaar. What's going on? Yeah.
That is true.
So, one second, let me understand. 30
Like even
seconds.
the post office and all. If like your post is
30 minutes for
mail is
pizza, 30 seconds for anything patriotic.
Even the money back that needs to come to you, I mean...
Yeah, it should be very timely.
The 15 lakhs? Are we discussing that now?
Oh, no, that's never gone.
I told my dad I don't need a job. I said, we're good, yeah, for the next year. हुआ नहीं? पहुंच गया? Flag पहुंच गया? वो
पैसा का मेरे पास है।
They'll get back to you. Faruk, it's been fantastic talking to you and great fun. Hope to have you on. Maybe we can just freewheel the next time. Talk about all
thank you so
kinds of
much.
things. And if you'd like to cast him in your next film, just
Yeah, Antariksh, yeah, sure. I mean...
I'm in. For whatever, I'll play a woman if you need me
No,
to.
space film
don't say
for
woman
sure,
like it's a bad thing, you idiot.
No, like cross dressing and all, I don't usually do.
But
उससे 377 उसका हो गया.
already cooked up a character from you in my mind. Like, I'm going to name a character Antariksh and I'm going to
Oh
have...
wow, this is. Can I audition to play myself?
Yeah, sure.
When you're playing a lash, there's no audition really.
Yeah. Okay.
Bus, you just have to lie still.
Antariksh मर गया. He's just a dead.
Chalo, okay, bye guys.
Thank you so much.
See you guys. Thank you.
Okay, catch us on any of the podcasting apps, please. We beg you, we need you. Send us your questions on Twitter on Cyrus Says In, or you can email us, even if you're not female, on whatcyrussays@gmail.com.